to actually make a better decision. And that means you're going to eat better food. What does better food mean? Better food means you're going to lose that stubborn belly fat. Now that's number one reason I love intermittent fasting. Did you miss out on breakfast this morning? Well, all is not lost. What is going on, guys? It is Tyson Brown here, and I want to talk to you today about skipping breakfast and should you do it. Is breakfast really the most essential meal of the day? Because a lot of people think it is, and for a long time I thought it was too. I used to think that I have to have breakfast every single morning. I'd always go and get the oats and the muesli, or I'd have something like that. And to be honest with you guys, you're probably better off skipping breakfast. And you know why? Because most people, when they have a breakfast, it's not a good breakfast. When you wake up and you're on the run and you got to go and do something, what's the first thing you usually have? Usually, if you're on the run and you're running somewhere, you're going to go to the coffee shop. You're going to pick up a coffee, you're probably going to grab a ham and cheese croissant, you're going to grab something like that. You're going to grab something that's not the best. You're going to grab a slice of banana bread, something that's going to keep you, you're going to get a little bit of a sugar hit, and that is the most crappiest thing. Now, a lot of people ask me, oh, Tyson, shouldn't I be having breakfast? Like, isn't the most important meal of the day? And you actually want to go back to thinking about our primal days. Do you think that we used to wake up every single morning and have access to a fridge or have access to a cupboard full of food, full of oats, full of muesli, full of yogurt? No, absolutely not. And we were able to go for long periods of time without eating, because sometimes we'd have to get up in the morning, we'd have to go and forage our food, or we'd have to go and hunt for it, or other times we wouldn't be able to eat for a couple of days. So the body has been able to adapt to this mechanism and actually use stored fat as a fuel source, and this is known as intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting is a really powerful approach that I like to use every single day. I do a 14 to 16 hour fast every single day, and I have loved the benefits. When I got right into it, I was doing 18 to 20 hour fasts a day, and that's when I saw the best results. Now, why do I like intermittent fasting so much? Is number one, it's going to limit you from having crappy food, first of all. Because when you skip that meal on the breakfast, whether it be the banana bread, whether it be the ham and cheese croissant, or whatever it is, you're going to be able to make a better choice when you have that first meal for the day, because you're going to be more prepared. Because you're putting that off and you're waiting for later on during the day to eat, then you have more time to actually make a better decision. And that means you're going to eat better food. What does better food mean? Better food means you're going to lose that stubborn belly fat. Now that's number one reason I love intermittent fasting. Number two is that you use fat as a fuel source as opposed to using carbohydrates, right? So when you're fasting for long periods of time, what happens is that your body will actually become metabolically flexible and allow you to use fat as a fuel source as opposed to just using carbohydrates. And that's why it's such a powerful tool for you to go longer periods of eating to help your body switch into that fat burning mode, because it's not going to happen straight away. It's got to happen after a couple of days, so the body actually gets used to it. And another thing I love about intermittent fasting is that it's flexible for everybody. Once you start using this approach, it's going to be so much more easier for you to stick to, because you can mold it around your lifestyle. It's not telling you not what to eat, it's telling you when to eat, right? So if you're someone who thinks that breakfast is the most important meal of the day and you should be eating breakfast every day, then you might want to think again. If you're someone who usually skips breakfast and you feel guilty about it, well, you don't have to feel guilty anymore. But what if you're skipping breakfast and you're still having crappy food, then yes, you should feel guilty. Now, intermittent fasting isn't the one-all, best-all approach, right? You've still got to use this as a tool in your toolbox, but what's more important is making sure that if you are going to practice intermittent fasting, that you make sure your first meal is still going to be whole and nutritious, okay? Because breakfast means breaking the fast, right? That means you're breaking the amount of time you're fasting. So breakfast can be any time of the day. Breakfast can be 12 p.m. Breakfast can be 1 p.m. Breakfast can be whenever it is, because all you're doing is breaking the fast, and that's what breakfast means. It doesn't mean that you have to eat at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning. I mean, for me, I'm awake at 4:30 every single morning going to see my clients. Do you think that I want to be scuffing down a protein shake or be scuffing down some breakfast at 4:30 in the morning? Absolutely not. And I actually feel much better when I train on an empty stomach, right? When I feel like I've got food in there, I just feel sluggish and I feel lethargic, and you might feel the same way. So don't think that you have to eat before you go and have a workout. Don't think that you have to eat as soon as you wake up, or you need to have breakfast. Your breakfast is whenever you break that fast. And if you can put it off longer and you put your body in a fat burning mode, it's going to help you, like I said, become more metabolically flexible. It's going to help you improve your diet, because when you have better decisions to make, let's say during the middle of the day when you actually break your fast at 12 o'clock and you have some time to go and eat some healthier food, you are more likely to stay and get the results you want, right? So that's a really, really powerful tool too, and that's why intermittent fasting, that's why I love it so much, and that's why I recommend it with my clients. Now, I just want to talk to you guys first of all. There's going to be a couple more videos coming out about intermittent fasting, but I just want to share this really quick tip with you about skipping breakfast, and it does not matter what time you have breakfast. If you can't make a healthy decision in the morning because you're in a rush and you're on the run, then that is completely fine. Do not stress about it. Just make sure when you do break your fast, it's going to be one healthy, good meal. And I always suggest when you're going to break your fast, don't make it a huge meal. Start it with something simple, something that's going to help you get into the flow of things. Because if you fill up too fast, what's going to happen is you can overeat all that food straight away, okay? So if you are someone who skips breakfast, do not feel guilty. I'm not a big breakfast eater myself. I usually fast for about 14 to 16 hours a day, and there's a lot of evidence showing that intermittent fasting is very, very powerful, okay? And just think about this. If our ancestors did it and our body has grown to adapt and be designed to be able to do this, to swap fuels as a fat, so to go from carb burning to fat burning, then this might be an optimal approach for you. So what I recommend is you give it a try, alright? That is a video done and dusted, guys. Don't feel guilty about not having breakfast. Make sure your first meal is nice and healthy, and give intermittent fasting a try to help burn that stubborn belly fat. Till next time, speak to you guys then.